Hey there, welcome back to Backyard Slingshots. On today's episode, we're back in the Pickle Fork series. Today we will be making a band set, which will be an offset band set for a PFS frame. So be it a gapper or a small gapper and a standard PFS frame, these bands will work for both. They will also work on a TTF. Depending upon if you short draw, long draw, you make it identically the same. I will be making it for full butterfly. The frame I'm shooting actually came to me from a good buddy of mine. His name is Eric Martin. It is Ethan Martin's son from Tennessee Slangin'. He made me a natural PFS from a little branch. And this thing is just a neat little shooter. And I couldn't thank Eric enough for this little frame. So, thank you again, Eric, for the awesome little frame. I'll enjoy shooting it many more times, that's for sure. So, what we're gonna do now is I'm gonna go ahead and pause the camera. We're gonna get it reset up, and I'm gonna show you my setup over here, and then I'm gonna walk you through on how I make the band set. This is gonna be an offset band set. So anybody who knows how to do the fold in a third for TTF, we're doing the same thing as that. But there's one slight difference when we go to attach it to the frame. So I'm gonna walk you through the band assembly, the band set assembly, for those who aren't sure about what I'm talking about. For the others, you can go ahead and, if you're trying to follow along and make a band set with me on this, go ahead and get yourself set up with a TTF attachment setup, as far as fold it over a third, and then tie it to your pouch. If you're already familiar with that, then just go ahead and fast forward to where I start marking and setting up the bands to show you how to do an offset band setup, so you don't have to remember to twist the pouch. It's automatically going to be there. All you have to remember is the tweak. Okay? So I'll get you all repositioned, and then we will start making a band set. Okay, now, so you're going to have mostly my hands in here, and you guys are off to my right hand side. Now you can use a standard band set, which is what I have in here. These are all standard OTT. You can use those with a PFS, but you have to remember to twist and then tweak. Okay? A lot of the stuff you're gonna see here, I will have an affiliate link for a lot of the stuff in the description below. From this 2x10 storage box, which this fits in my Maxpedition small pocket organizer for my everyday carry stuff for Slingshots. There's 10 pre-made band sets in here. So stuff like that will be linked in the description below. This band jig that I have here will also be in the description below, as well as this band jig. These two seem to be my favorites that I use. It's a very simple clamping mechanism. It holds the bands very, very well. This one is a fixed position. This one here on the table is adjustable. You've actually got 3 positions built into the base for your different pouches, for your different width pouches. So what we're going to use here is you pick your favorite material, pick your favorite pouch, and we're going to tie a TTF band set to start with, okay? And in that, I'm going to use some of my setup, 16 290 overall by 10 Sumiki .45, which is their pink. Okay, so we've got our bands here. Apparently someone's leaving in a hurry. Okay, so there's our bands. We shall use that pouch because that's one of my favorites. This is the standard chain link style pouch that is available at Sniper Sling. Okay, and then we have our pull-through tool and a ballpoint pen. This is all stuff that we will eventually need in this process. So you can mark your bands or not, I'm usually going to be pulling through about that much when I pull through the pouch. So when I go through on the ammo side of the pouch to the back side of the pouch. And some people do fold it in thirds to start with. I'm not going to do that, and this pouch is broken in. Normally these holes will be a lot tighter before you so you will need the pull through tool to show you the difference. That's a brand new pouch unused. That's a used pouch, or in this case a broken in pouch. So at this point, this would be set up to tie an OTT setup where the band is folded in half. All right, that's not really what we're looking for a offset band. We want a TTF setup, so we're going to do 1/3 and 1/3, just like that. So basically like getting yourself a little tiny roll on the end of the band. We're going to make sure it follows suit on the back side of the band. We're going to line up our pouch, make sure everything is holding, and now we have our first setup here. So there's our first setup going with thirds, and now we're going to put this in our band jig, facing the right direction, of course. I have to pay attention to the orientation. I have this one set up to go off the center hole of the pouch. We're going to adjust this a little bit so you guys can get more of what I'm doing in the center. Okay. So we're going to go to the center hole of the pouch on the little peg here. So just pull until you get to that center hole. You're done. I'm using crystal string for this. You can get this at Simple Shot, Sniper Sling, Precise, GZK. It's just your standard crystal string. And I usually do about 6 to 8 wraps. Three, 4, 5, 6. And then at that point, just your standard square knot. Boom, there's one side done. The one tool I did not bring out here, actually yes I did, it's in my box. And you're gonna need a pair of scissors to cut off your access. Okay, and then from there, it's kind of rinse and repeat for the opposing side. But this would be your TTF band set. You got a little cuff in here, you got a cuff here. We can cut away this access after we stretch test. We want to make sure we always stretch test. You don't want your tag end to pull through your tie and then out of your pouch. You want it to do it now while you're testing, instead of later on when you're at full draw and that band lets go at the pouch and comes back and pops you, or pops you on the back of the hand, depending upon your shooting style. So. Okay, so TTF band set. You can see we got the cuffs, okay? At this point, you pick a side. Okay, one side will be your top fork, one side will be your bottom fork. And we're going to represent that with a B on one, hence the ballpoint pen out here, so it doesn't confuse you guys, and T on the other. One for bottom, one for top. Okay? So you can see the letter B there. Okay. You'll notice that my table is cleared off and during editing for this particular part of the video, I noticed that a lot of what I was doing was out of shot. So we're going to retie the band set onto the pickle fork. So once again, you're seeing the flat side here. This is the target side. This arch side is shooter side. So in that, bottom fork, top fork. Coming back to the band set that we made. Again, this is the TTF style band set. You've got the cuffs there. There's our B for our bottom fork. There's our T for our top fork. So, bottom fork, shooter side, band attachment side. We're going to roll this over. That's still the bottom fork. Take our attachment material. Get our start wrap going here. And now we're looking for the letter B. There's the letter B. We will turn that over so the B is looking at the shooter side of the frame, which means on this side of the picture, you're looking at the ammo side of the pouch. Target side of the frame, ammo side of the pouch. Okay? We'll go ahead and get our wraps on. Make sure it's in the middle of the fork as best as possible. 1, 2, 3. We'll get our button puller or pull-through tool. A couple wraps over that. Now I go dropping out of frame again. I had to rearrange how my camera was set up so I can see what I'm actually looking at in frame. Yesterday everything was kind of blocked and I couldn't really see what I was doing. Today I can see what I'm doing. So pull that through. Pull. Okay. This is where you'll get your scissors, which my scissors are in the house. So, trusty Swiss Army knife. Okay, pull. Not coming out. As you see, there's your letter B. And on this side, we should be looking at the back of the pouch. So you can see the 48 and 8mm. That tells you the size of the pouch, so that's the back of the pouch. You can see the cuff, shooter side of the frame, and the letter B. Okay, set that down. I still need these scissors. Now for the other side, we simply fold the pouch in half. Okay. At which point we should be looking at the letter T on the shooter side of the frame. Okay. So there's our letter T, shooter side of the frame, and then we wrap and tuck that on. Okay. We got our start wrap going. Yeah, this is definitely not as easy as it seems behind the camera. Okay. So there's our start wraps. Now, again, the letter on the target side of the frame, the letter should not be visible. Okay, so if I flip this over, there's the letter. So this is all target side of the frame, okay? And if you look down the bands, you'll see they're twisted if I'm holding the pouch a traditional way. The moment I line them up, it adds your twist automatically for a pickle fork. I'm gonna go ahead and get these wrapped. I guess you can still see these colors pretty good. I used the yellow initially yesterday with this so you can kind of see what I was doing. But I guess this turquoise and the pink still show up pretty good. Okay. There are 2 extra binding wraps. 1, 2. Okay. Into the button puller or the pull through tool. Pull it through. Snip. Pull out your access. And there you go. Give it a pull test. Make sure everything's good. So that is an offset band set for a PFS. I think I got way too many twists in this. No, we're good. Okay. So I flip it over, bottom fork, top fork. So there's your letter B and your letter T. And if you're left hand hold. If you're right hand hold, it would be different. It would be the opposite. You can see I'm holding the pouch and the bands. If I flip it on its side, still holding them the same. Okay. Now, in this view, if you were to try to hold it like you would know a normal pouch, you can see how the bands rotate and twist. This is your offset band setup. So now all you have to do as the shooter is worry about your tweak when you're shooting. Bottom fork, top fork. So we got our bands attached. And again, looking at the shooter side. So if I'm holding the frame, aiming at the camera, coming into you guys, the letter T is up here. The B is down here. Again, you don't see the letters. If I flip it around, letter T is up top, B is on the bottom. The bands themselves, one nice thin line. If I turn the pouch, you see the twist. Turn it back, one nice thin line. So that way, now I don't have to worry about twisting the pouch. I just have to worry about the tweak. Because I shoot butterfly, when I come to full draw, my hand naturally creates the tweak. So at that point, it's just get my reference point and send a shot. So I'm gonna send a few shots at that can. I hope this was somewhat knowledgeable for those who don't know how to do this particular method. Or for those who have heard about it but weren't sure how to do it. So, nice. So, in closing, again, pickle forks are not that hard, guys. Once you get the main idea and the main setup, and this is definitely doing the offset band setup will definitely help beginners learning pickle forks. You can use this setup to shoot short draw, which Josh Dills at Young King Catapults has done. If you guys want, I can link his video in the description of him talking about the offset band set and him shooting short draw, chasing a can across his yard. So it can be done. When he does it with short draw, he's getting his normal anchor about his cheekbone to give him the tweak, and he's pushing forward on the forks. Speaking of which, the next video for this series will be shooting techniques. Different techniques that I have seen people use, ones that I found that work for me, and just showing you examples of different techniques that people have used to shoot a pickle fork. Be it because they're nervous of the frame and they're trying to find a way to not get the fork hit, or just that's the style they found that suits them. So that will be in the next video of the series, is shooting techniques. Today was making that offset band set, and I'm very pleased that you all came along for that. So in closing, I want to say to all the subscribers that have subscribed, all 300 plus of you guys, thank you. It means the world to me to see you guys are enjoying the content and clicking that subscribe button. For those that hit the like button, again, thank you very much. All those likes and all those subscriptions, they do help with the algorithm and what YouTube decides to put on people's news feeds, especially if it's something of their interest. Thank you very much to all of you who have done that. It means the world to me. This has been Chris with Backyard Slingshots. I hope you guys have enjoyed the video and the content. And as always, keep it in the 10 ring, shooters.